Even though the snow has stopped falling over much of the east coast of the United States, the freezing temperatures remain and much of that snow on the ground is turning to ice. With those conditions, there are a lot of folks in need of help digging out, getting to life-saving appointments and more. Jody Geddes with our sister ministry, Operation Blessing, joins me now to discuss disaster relief in this major winter storm. Welcome, Jody.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, always a pleasure to have you interview with CBN News. First of all, you guys are concentrating your relief efforts right here in Virginia. A lot of folks in need. Tell us about that. What's going on here locally?
Yeah, it's an honor for us to be able to serve right here at home and in a lot of communities across America, Minnesota and northern communities. 8, 10, 12 inches of snow might not be as catastrophic as it is here in Hampton Roads, but it shuts down entire cities. And we've had a lot of people calling in who need to get to kidney dialysis, chemotherapy, life-sustaining resources. And so local emergency management asked us about 4 years ago to start what we call a Snow Buddy program, where we have local volunteers come and pair them up with our staff, and we go out and help homeowners dig out so they can get to those life-sustaining resources and treatments.
Awesome, awesome. Well, what will Operation Blessing be doing over the next several days?
Operation Blessing will continue to send our staff and our volunteers out to help these precious residents dig out, to help clear driveways, porches. Some people can't even open their doors. We had blizzard conditions here, which is completely unprecedented. So until the weather warms and the snow melts, Operation Blessing will be sharing the love of Jesus, shoveling driveways one home at a time.
Awesome. That's great. Well, even if we can't volunteer with Operation Blessing, what should we be doing as neighbors across the path of this storm all along the East Coast? I mean, especially when it comes to children, the elderly, those with special health needs?
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you can't come to Virginia Beach, a lot of the country has been devastated. A lot of the country is digging out. And so maybe you can't come to Virginia Beach, but you can help your neighbor across the street, your neighbor next door. And by going and shoveling snow, not only are you giving them peace of mind, helping them get to these life-sustaining treatments, but you're sharing the love of Christ. And that's the whole reason we all exist, is to share that love of Jesus with our neighbors.
Do you advise some people maybe to go and just knock on maybe an elderly neighbor's door or something, make sure that they have all their medications, that kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Whether you have a snow shovel or you're just doing a wellness check, knock on the door, let them know that they're not alone, they haven't been forgotten. Because one thing, Mark, that I've learned doing this in the last 4 years, especially with the winter storms, is the elderly get very frightened because many of them, their families have already passed on. They don't have anyone. They lay in bed at night worrying, if I need the ambulance, how in the world can I even get out of my house to the ambulance? And so it might not seem like a big deal, but if you just knock on the door and say, how are you holding up? Do you need anything? And so going and letting them know that they're not alone, that's one of the greatest things that we can give them.
Awesome. Well, how have you seen God at work in this storm?
Oh, that's such a great question. Yesterday I spent the day out for a few hours just helping residents dig out. And first house we went to was Seal and her husband Bob, older couple, their grandchildren living in the home with them, small grandchildren. He had been on the waiting list for 4 months for a hip replacement. He can barely walk from his bedroom to the bathroom, and his surgery was today, this morning. And so they had no idea how they were going to get him to surgery. And they called the fire department, and the fire department said, unfortunately, we cannot help you. The ambulances are tied up, but call Operation Blessing. And so she told me yesterday as I was talking to her that she sat down and she began to pray that God would send us there. And do you know that He led us, and she was the first one on our list. We had over 100 requests, and we went to Seal's house first. The next was an 82-year-old lady needed to get to kidney dialysis this morning. There was no way she would even be able to make it out to get a ride to kidney dialysis. Another was somebody who has 2 different kinds of cancer. Again, people who don't have family, who don't have the resources to help themselves. So it's just an honor to go and to let them know they're not alone, pray with them, love on them, and shoveling snow can be a powerful, powerful testimony.
It definitely can. Well, we commend you for your efforts. You guys are doing awesome work all around in this area, and then obviously you're around the country too when other disasters strike. But yeah, thanks so much for your work.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks again.